For our debate, our statement was the government should act as an economic engine for aggregate demand during economic recessions. We believe this to start off because of the empirical data. In 1930s, President Roosevelt incorporated the New Deal in one of the US's most terrible recessions. This New Deal included agencies that provided employment for many people that were unemployed, and not only provided employment, but it allocated it towards environmental programs, unskilled workers, and creating development in underdeveloped areas. The effect of the New Deal were very clear on the GDP. As you can see, they were put in effect in 1933. Before that, the GDP percent change was going down. From there to 1945, we can see it's clear it started to go up. Just as any investment, this had a cost. When the GDP goes up because of government intervention, clearly the public deficit increases because of the government investing in these agencies that create better GDP. This is okay, although some people may see it as negative, because every investment has a cost, and while the GDP maintained a constant growth, this was the cost of it.
So definitely one of the most important reasons why the government intervention is important is because of its ability to stimulate GDP growth. Economic growth cushions the blow of a recession in the short term by injecting liquidity into the economy and increasing aggregate demand. As you can see here, there were 2 consecutive quarters where the COVID crisis really hit the US, and in the 3rd quarter, you can already see that's when the US implemented the COVID relief plan and the different checks and everything, and it immediately bounced back. And since then, there hasn't been any negative GDP growth. And on the next slide, you'll be able to see an even better view. In 2019, the GDP per capita was 62,600. And then obviously it decreased by 3,000, almost 4,000. And then it bounced back in 2021, even after the COVID crisis, back to 61,240, almost recovering its entire loss. And obviously, again, this has an effect on the debt. However, we do not believe that there is any conceivable way for an economy to bounce back in this way without any government intervention, because otherwise we would have to suffer the abject effects of a recession for decades to come.
The impact of a government intervention is clear, as Niels and Emilio explained. But the main goal is to improve a nation's welfare, and an expansionary fiscal policy does so by increasing the aggregate demand in an economy, which can be seen in the flipped curve on the screen. And this raises the average price level as well as the GDP in a country. And you can see the subsequent effect it has on inflation and unemployment. The shift from A to B shows the decrease in unemployment while there is an increase in inflation. And this decrease in unemployment improves the welfare of a country, further showing why that government intervention is the answer to a recession.
Another argument that we raised is that the government can act by investing in education. The more educated students will then become a better workforce. We know that a better workforce means a better productivity and therefore a better GDP. Education is the key to addressing the economic, health, environmental, and social crises we face. Education is fundamental to our ability to build back better. Also, the government has an important duty towards its society. It must inform the public about the situation within the country. In times of recession, the situation is worrisome and revolts are frequent. So, who is better placed than the government to reassure its society than the government itself?
After reviewing what we have just discussed, it's clear that government intervention is essential in a recession and is crucial, especially in raising the employment level of a nation. And without a government investment into an expansionary policy, the economy would never be able to recover as quickly. Therefore, I think we have proven our point. Thanks for watching.